Welcome to the Deep Dive, where our mission is really to cut through the noise and get you truly well informed. Today, we're diving deep into some, well, fascinating new research. It's shining a light on how digital tools and online education are radically transforming learning, and crucially, where teachers fit into this whole evolving picture. Our goal here is to pull out the most important nuggets from this study, especially focusing on the absolutely central mediating role teachers play. Making this transformation actually effective and deeply personal for you, the learner.
That's exactly right. This isn't just about the newest gadget or, the fanciest software. It's really about how the incredible expertise of teachers shapes and, frankly, amplifies these digital tools to create genuinely individualized educational experiences.
Right.
It's that human element, the teacher, that truly brings the technology to life.
Okay, so let's unpack this then. What are teachers actually experiencing, on the ground with these digital tools?
The study paints a pretty clear picture, actually. These tools, they're making teaching more interactive, but also more flexible and much more student-oriented.
Things like learning management systems.
Exactly. Learning management systems, think of those as like a central online hub for all your course stuff. And video conferencing, of course, and those interactive apps that just seem to grab your attention.
And what's really striking, I think, is the overwhelmingly positive view from educators. They seem to see these tools not just as like optional extras,
Right.
but as pretty fundamental for a modern, engaging classroom today.
And we don't even have to guess, because the study gives us direct quotes. Teacher A, for instance, they said that digital support improves the quality of education and provides the opportunity to present materials that appeal to different learning styles. I mean, that's huge for reaching everyone.
Absolutely huge. And Teacher B jumped right in, saying with digital tools, interaction increases in my lessons. I can attract the attention of my students and make learning more fun.
More fun, yeah.
And Teacher D even highlighted things like game-based learning, simulations, and interactive applications, saying they increase students' interest, and specifically mentioned that the use of digital tools in the STEM field facilitates learning.
And look, it's not just powerful stories, right? The quantitative data backs this up strongly. When they asked teachers, a really strong majority, it was almost 4 out of 5, agreed that digital tools make learning more fun by increasing students' interest in lessons.
Wow, 4 out of 5.
Yeah. And they also overwhelmingly agreed that these platforms make things like subject review and assessment processes much more efficient.
Okay, so it's clear. These aren't just, fancy toys. Teachers genuinely feel they boost engagement and make learning, well, more enjoyable for you. It really seems to open the door to a more dynamic kind of classroom experience.
Absolutely. I mean, by fostering these more interactive and flexible environments, these digital tools are directly feeding into increased student engagement and motivation. And those are really the cornerstones of effective learning, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. So we've looked at how digital tools are changing the classroom space. But what happens when the classroom itself sort of expands?
Yeah.
Or even changes shape completely through online education strategies? How does that really reshape learning?
Well, online education strategies are really about leveraging those digital tools we just talked about to deliver content and activities that are ideally customized to student needs. And often this happens beyond the traditional school day or, the school building.
Right, like flipped learning.
Exactly. Think about flipped learning, where maybe you watch a lecture online at home, right? And then you come into class ready for hands-on activities or discussion, or blended learning, which is that mix of face-to-face teaching with online parts. And even things like microlearning, breaking down big topics into short, targeted bursts you can, tackle quickly on your phone or tablet.
And the teachers in this study had some really fascinating takes on how this actually plays out. Teacher A pointed out that these strategies enable students to create environments suitable for their individual learning needs. Students can learn at their own pace, repeat when they need to. I mean, that's a game changer for feeling in control of your own learning journey.
It really is. That autonomy is key.
And Teacher D brought up how online education offers a learning environment independent of time and space, which, as they noted, is especially critical for students living in geographically disadvantaged areas. That's a huge point about access.
A massive point. And Teacher E highlighted some of the more innovative techniques, things like gamification.
Making it like a game.
Yeah, exactly. Making learning feel more like a game. Plus things like simulations, augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR. These can make lessons feel more engaging. especially for what Teacher E called digital natives, students who've grown up completely immersed in this tech.
What I found particularly compelling here, though, was how strongly teachers felt that online education supports student-centered and active learning-based strategies. This actually got the highest agreement score for online strategies in the whole study.
That's significant.
Yeah, and it also showed that online assessment methods, think project-based work, digital portfolios, getting instant feedback, these provide really dynamic, student-specific insights. It moves way beyond just, a single test score at the end.
And that shift, that move towards continuous, really informative assessment, it's vital. It means feedback can genuinely guide your learning journey as it happens, not just tell you how you did after the fact.
Okay, that discussion about dynamic assessment really tees up the ultimate goal here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Truly personalized learning. So let's explore what that actually looks like in practice. What does it mean for you as a learner?
Right. Personalized learning, imagine an education that really, truly adapts to you, to your speed, your particular style of learning, what genuinely grabs your interest. That's personalized learning.
Tailored education.
Exactly. Tailoring the whole experience, the content, the pace, the activities to each student's unique profile. And this idea really connects to some well-established educational theories like Gardner's multiple intelligences.
The idea that there isn't just one way to be smart.
Precisely. Musical intelligence, logical, mathematical, interpersonal, lots of ways. Personalized learning respects that. And it also links to self-regulated learning, which is all about empowering you, the student, to kind of take the reins of your own learning, setting goals, tracking how you're doing.
And we have some fantastic, really concrete examples from teachers on how this actually works. Teacher A said, "I can offer content appropriate to the level of each student and follow their development more closely. Each child feels more confident." Just think about that for your own learning.
That confidence boost is huge.
Yeah, and Teacher B, who teaches math, mentioned, "I can determine the subjects that each student is missing and give additional studies accordingly." They added, "Digital platforms suggest appropriate questions, increases students' motivation and self-confidence."
And think about Teacher C in literature. They shared that personalized learning let them create reading lists for each student based on the subjects they're interested in. Imagine getting a reading list perfectly matched to your interests.
That sounds amazing.
Right. And Teacher E, who works in vocational high schools, saw it helping students develop projects in line with their interests and abilities.
Yeah.
And using simulations and digital content to help build professional skills on more solid foundations. Real-world application.
It's just so clear how this approach caters to individual pathways, right? Building confidence and deeper engagement along the way.
Absolutely. And the study really underscores personalized learning's potential to, and I quote, increase equality of opportunity in education, especially when it's powered by technology. It's about trying to level that playing field so every student, regardless of background, really gets a fair shot.
So, okay, we've talked about digital tools, online strategies, and personalized learning. What does it all mean when we put it together? How do these three things influence each other? It sounds like they're definitely all connected.
Oh, they're very connected. Deeply connected, actually. The research found strong, positive correlations across the board.
Strong correlation.
Yes, and interestingly, the strongest link they found was between digital tools and personalized learning. That correlation, it was a robust 0.436. Now, that's not just a number, right? It basically shouts that digital tools aren't merely nice-to-haves for personalized learning.
They're essential.
They're the engine, the fundamental enabler. Without them trying to truly tailor education for every student, well, it really struggles to get off the ground. Digital tools also showed a strong connection, unsurprisingly, with online education strategies.
Okay.
And those online education strategies, in turn, also correlated positively with personalized learning. It's like a web.
Right, a web. So if we connect that to the bigger picture, what's the key takeaway?
This is the pivotal finding, really. Supporting teachers with digital tools plays what the researchers call a mediating role.
A mediating role. What does that mean exactly?
It means that when teachers effectively use digital tools, it significantly strengthens the positive effect that online educational strategies have on achieving personalized learning.
So it's not just having the tools.
Exactly. It's about how teachers use them. The teacher's skill and application is the bridge. In fact, this mediation, this teacher effect, accounted for nearly 38% of the impact of online strategies on personalized learning.
Wow, almost 40%. That's huge.
It's a massive impact. It really underscores that the teacher isn't being replaced by technology here. Not at all. They become this vital conduit, the crucial link that makes the technology truly effective for individual students.
Okay, so despite all these clear benefits, these promising connections, what are the hurdles? What challenges are teachers actually facing? Because it can't all be smooth sailing, right? I can only imagine the frustration sometimes.
Oh, absolutely not smooth sailing all the time. The qualitative part of the study, the teacher interviews, really highlighted several significant limitations. Teacher F, for example, pointed out the obvious but critical issue. Technical problems can disrupt the educational process. A healthy infrastructure is necessary. Hard to teach if the Wi-Fi is down.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And both Teacher B and G really hammered this home, noting that a lack of technical infrastructure makes it difficult to use digital tools effectively.
Yeah.
You can't personalize much if the basic tech isn't there or isn't reliable.
That makes total sense. And there were other issues too.
Yes. Teacher E raised a really important point about focus. They said, these tools can be distracting and make it difficult for students to focus. That's a constant balancing act, isn't it?
Engagement versus distraction.
Precisely. And then if you look at the quantitative data, the survey numbers, for personalized learning specifically, teachers felt, well, less confident or supported in certain areas.
Like what?
Like effectively identifying missing topics and providing additional work for individual students, or even just providing content appropriate to each student's level.
Oh, okay.
The average scores for those aspects were noticeably lower compared to other areas.
So what does that suggest?
Well, it raises a really important question, I think. While the potential of personalized learning is clear and teachers see it, these lower scores suggest they need more practical support, more guidance on the actual feasibility of implementing it effectively day in and day out.
Right. It's like there's a gap between the big idea and the practical reality in the classroom.
Exactly that. A gap between aspiration and on-the-ground implementation.
So, okay, given these insights, the potential and the challenges, what does this research actually recommend? For educators, for policymakers, what's needed to really empower teachers and actually enhance learning for you, the student? What's the path forward?
Well, the good news is the practical implications are pretty clear and, I think, actionable. First and foremost, teacher training.
Okay. More training.
Yes, but targeted training. We need to significantly increase modules focused on integrating digital tools, using interactive strategies effectively, and implementing personalized learning practices, both in initial teacher training programs and through ongoing professional development workshops, online courses, coaching.
Right. You can't just hand someone a tool and expect magic. They need the skills and confidence.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Second big area, infrastructure. This is fundamental. We simply must eliminate the deficiencies, inconsistent internet, lack of devices, outdated software, especially in schools that need it most. Prioritizing rural and disadvantaged areas is absolutely key here for ensuring genuine equality of opportunity.
Makes sense. Level the playing field technologically first.
Third, the study really encourages embracing innovative strategies, thinking beyond traditional methods, actively adopting interactive techniques like gamification, AR, VR, and also pedagogical models like the flipped classroom or cooperative learning that leverage technology well.
So making learning not just effective, but really dynamic, maybe even captivating and collaborative too.
Exactly. And finally, number 4. Support for personalized learning implementation. This is crucial. We need to actively help teachers use digital platforms more effectively, specifically for tracking student progress, accurately identifying individual needs, and providing that tailored content.
So practical help.
Yes. Establishing really robust guidance systems, maybe peer mentoring, ongoing support mechanisms for teachers, that's absolutely vital for personalized learning to actually succeed at scale.
Now, it's important we mention the study itself was upfront about some limitations. They couldn't do a full experimental study, mostly due to teacher availability and getting permissions, which, impacts how broadly we can generalize the findings.
That's true. Methodological limitations are always important to consider.
But even with that caveat, it still offers really crucial, quite practical insights that definitely point us in the right direction, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. I think the overall picture from this deep dive is pretty clear. Digital tools and online strategies, they do empower teachers. They enable more flexible, interactive, student-centered learning. That much is evident. However, the true success, the realization of genuinely personalized learning for every student, Well, that really hinges on a few critical things.
Which are?
Strengthening that technical infrastructure we talked about, finding the right balance between different teaching approaches, tech-based and traditional, and, crucially, significantly investing in teacher training and continuous practical support.
So the tech is a tool, but the teacher, with the right support, is the key.
That's the core message. And maybe to leave you with a final thought. Imagine a future where every single student, no matter their background, their learning style, where they live, has access to an education that is perfectly tailored to their individual needs and passions. This research strongly suggests that while technology provides powerful tools to get us there, it's ultimately the empowered teacher equipped with the right skills, the right resources, and the right support who actually makes that future a reality. So maybe the question for you is, what steps can you take in your own community to advocate for this kind of educational evolution?